commented and watched my last video and all of your love. I was so grateful and excited to read you guys' comments and how excited you were that Self-Love Saturday is back. I really didn't expect that. So that felt really good for me. So thank you very much. To give you a quick catch up. I am back out there, sort of. I'm trying. I wanted to kind of take you guys along this journey with me as I rediscover who I am in the dating experience, especially in 2018 where it seems like dating is really difficult and just meeting people is really difficult. Before we go too far into this thing, I really want to talk about like music and dictating your vibe and your mood and all of that kind of stuff. And what we don't realize is like when we're feeling some type of way, like we'll only, like if we're heartbroken, we'll only want to hear like heartbreak music or something like that. And that will just like keep you in heartbreak mode. Like whether you realize it or not, sure, it can feel good for a moment, but then like now that you're like 2 hours in, I could also change this mood if I really wanted. Being single, ready to mingle, your girl is literally only listening to music that like emphasizes that theme or makes me feel good about it. First, it started with Tinashe, Company. That was it. Like that song was like, yo, that's where I'm at. I just want to meet people. I'm just looking for company, son. Cardi B has a lot of songs that kind of like emphasize the singleness stuff, but most importantly, the one with SZA, that song is that fire. And of course, Nice for What by my boy. Probably the epitome of how the summer is going to feel. And so I'm encouraging you right now to find your single triumph songs, to go find the songs that are gonna make you feel like, yo, I'm killing it out here. We out here, we in charge of ourselves, we're exploring, we're meeting people. Back to the rest of it. There was a bunch of you who commented asking how do I meet people in general in real life, whether you are in your 30s or in your 20s or a college student. It didn't really matter the age group. It seemed like it was kind of universal in terms of it being difficult to meet people right now. I have kind of maneuvered around that little tricky spot in the last little while by doing a few things that, regardless of if I'm looking to like date or if I just want to expand my circle and make new friends. So first of all, if you are in grandma or grandpa mode, you're in your comfort zone, you love your bed, you love your room, you love just being by yourself, and you've enjoyed that, it's so comfortable, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to break you out of that. We all know ain't nothing happening, no comfort zone. The same thing applies when it comes to actually meeting people in real life. You have to start to just say yes. Say yes to all of the invites, all of the gatherings, all of the game nights, all of the walks around the block, just yes. If you are struggling with people inviting you somewhere, well then this is another thing that's gonna have to take you out of your comfort zone. I follow a lot of accounts on my Instagram that represents like the social life of a city, especially if I'm traveling. Basically, I live in LA. I tend to follow all of the things that kind of tell me what's happening downtown LA, what's happening in the arts district of LA. Anything that gauges my interest, I'll follow that. Restaurants, events, regular party groups, I'll follow these type of things just so I can start to expand my social life and not necessarily just have to rely on my circle to find out what's happening in the city. Especially if you're like on a budget, there are so many free things that are happening in the city. Now, spring, summertime, like this is prime time for you to utilize your social media and actually follow accounts that kind of represent these things. So that's just how to kind of get out of the house. But then when you go to these events, my friend, okay, whether it is a game night, whether it is something at home, whether it is just you having fun somewhere out on the street, go with a goal, go with some kind of intent to engage with somebody that you do not know. It doesn't always have to have the pressure of like, oh, I've got to find somebody that I like or that I'm attracted to. No, I'm just talking about just talking to somebody that you don't know and truly listening and engaging in the conversation with them. I like conversation. I genuinely have interest and curiosity when it comes to talking to people. I'm always asking follow-up questions when I'm talking to somebody because I'm just crazy like that. I like to hear people's stories. I like to hear where they came from or why they're doing what they're doing in this current moment or where they got that shirt from or how come their hair is like that. Like I really do have this curiosity. So I tend to meet a lot of people in real life because I just engage in conversation. If somebody intrigues me, I want them to know, and I want to know them in some way, whether that's exchanging numbers with them in the moment, whether that's just saying like, well, I want to keep in touch, so what is your social media? How can we keep this going? Because I do find you very intriguing. Intriguing has been a big theme for me in the last little while. If I find somebody intriguing, then I'm just upfront about it. I'm like, yo, something about you I like I think you're cool, I just wanna know you, I think you're really funny, how can I know you further? You have to stretch yourself, and you have to kind of go over and talk to somebody and just be brave and say whatever it is that comes to your mind when you meet them. A few of you in the last video though were kind of worried about how to avoid like bad friends, especially as you've gotten older and you're now an adult. And this is the thing, I don't think you can avoid that. I think you have to just realize that it takes a while to know people, like for real knowing people. Not like, oh, the surface of them, but I mean the layers, because we all are so layered and complex and always evolving and changing that you can't say that you really know somebody until it's like years. I mean years, and like all kinds of experiences with them in order to recognize like I really know that person. So avoiding the like bad friends or like the drama and stuff like that, I kind of think is impossible, to be honest with you. But you can't be afraid of it because you know yourself. You know when something is a red flag for you. You know when your intuition is saying, I don't really like that, or I don't really like how they interacted or something like that. But this is the thing. Don't underestimate the power of communicating with somebody and just being honest about things that maybe you don't like. I had relatively recently 2 new friends that didn't work out for me. Like honestly, like within a year's time, like bing bang, in and out, just did not work out. Different little bits of drama, different little bits of this, that, and the other. What I realized in that moment though was that people make a lot of assumptions. Also, you have to be open to express yourself and truly tell somebody what it is that you require or need in a friendship, period. This is gonna end up being a dating relationship or not. You have to be able to express what it is that you like or you need or what you've experienced, because I can't read your mind, you can't read mine, I don't know your past, so it's not fair to just be like, well, they should have known, or this person should just do this because I'm an adult now and all people do that. No, everybody has different experiences. Those experiences that I had where it was like, you know, a blip of a friendship, in reality, I learned a lot about myself and I learned a lot about communication, because I realized, yeah, it takes a little while to really know somebody, and you have to see all sides of them. How do they deal with conflict? What are they like when they're sad? What are they like when they're happy? What are they like when life is stressful? There's all these different levels to somebody. If you're already thinking and afraid of like running into the wrong person, I think that's a limit you're putting on yourself that will naturally keep you just too guarded from life, because we have to experience things in order to know about ourselves. Trust that you know yourself and you know what feels good and what doesn't, and that's all you can really go with. I mean, I could go on and on, but the thing is, in order to meet people, you have to put yourself out there. You have to stretch yourself a little bit. But this is the thing, this process is not necessarily comfortable. That's what I kind of realized about dating on a whole, is that there's a lot of discomfort with it. So these are pretty much my tips for meeting people in real life. You gotta stretch yourself, you gotta get out of your comfort zone. You have to make a plan when you go to an event to engage with at least one person. Whether attracted to them or not, there has to be some level of intrigue that makes you say, oh, I want to talk to that person. Just be like present. That's what I realized, I think, in this dating experience for myself, is it's like, it's a lot about being present and not so much in your head and not so worried about the future and thinking about this, that, and the other, and the if and the woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all of that kind of junk will just hinder your experience. But being in the present moment, enjoying whatever it is that's going on around you, makes it just a lot more fun and a lot easier to do pretty much everything. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this message with any of your friends who you think need it, and let me know in the comments what your experience has been with meeting people in real life. Bye!